Imagine a land so rich with life that ancient hunter-gatherers called it home for thousands of years. Rivers full of fish, forests full of deer, and open plains stretching as far as the eye could see. This wasn't a myth, this was a real place. Today it lies completely invisible, buried under 100 feet of freezing ocean water. Geologists call it Doggerland, and what happened to it is one of the most terrifying disasters in human history. Around 10,000 years ago, Doggerland wasn't underwater at all. It was a massive landmass connecting Britain to mainland Europe. Where the North Sea exists today, there were rolling hills, wide rivers, marshlands, and dense forests. Archaeologists have nicknamed it Doggerland's paradise because for these ancient humans, it truly was one. Food was abundant. Families built homes along the riverbanks. Life had a rhythm, but this paradise had a hidden enemy, one that had been building for thousands of years without anyone noticing. As the last ice age slowly ended, glaciers around the world began melting. Sea levels were rising inch by inch, year after year. The people of Doggerland would have noticed their coastlines shrinking. Generation after generation, grandparents would tell stories of hunting grounds that their grandchildren would never see because the sea had already swallowed them. It was slow, it was quiet, it felt survivable. Then one day, everything changed in a matter of minutes. Far off the coast of Norway, deep beneath the seabed, enormous underwater cliffs of sediment finally gave way. Geologists call this the Storegga Slide. It remains to this day one of the largest underwater landslides ever discovered on Earth, stretching over 1,000 kilometers along the ocean floor. When that much Earth collapses underwater all at once, it doesn't just sink quietly. It displaces an unimaginable volume of seawater instantly, and that water has to go somewhere. The result was a tsunami, not an ordinary wave. Scientists estimate the wall of water that raced toward Doggerland reached heights of up to 25 meters in some coastal areas, as tall as an 8-story building, moving at devastating speed across the North Sea. For the people living along Doggerland's coast, there would have been almost no warning. Maybe a strange pulling back of the tide, maybe a distant roar growing louder by the second, and then the wave arrived. Entire settlements were erased in moments. Homes, tools, campfires, families, gone under a wall of freezing black water. Survivors on higher ground would have watched helplessly as the horizon itself seemed to rise up and consume the land they had always known. But the tsunami was only the beginning of the end. Even before Storegga struck, the slow-rising seas had already been shrinking Doggerland year after year. The tsunami didn't just kill people, it accelerated the final collapse of the land itself. Low-lying areas that survived the wave were now more vulnerable than ever, sinking further beneath the encroaching sea in the years that followed. Within a relatively short time, what remained of Doggerland disappeared entirely beneath the North Sea, leaving behind only a shallow sandbank known today as the Dogger Bank. For centuries, this entire event was nothing more than a theory, but then the evidence started surfacing. Literally, fishing trawlers working the North Sea began pulling up strange objects in their nets, not fish, bones, ancient bones of mammoths, lions, and other Ice Age animals. Then came something even more incredible, fragments of human tools, spear points. A skull fragment, estimated to be over 9,000 years old, was dredged up from the seabed, proof that real people had lived, hunted, and died on land that no longer exists. Marine archaeologists later discovered preserved tree stumps and ancient soil layers on the ocean floor. The fossilized remains of Doggerland's ancient forest, sitting silently in darkness beneath the waves, undisturbed for thousands of years. Today, using sonar mapping and seismic survey data, scientists have reconstructed detailed maps of Doggerland's rivers, hills, and coastlines, exactly as they once looked. An entire lost world, hidden in plain sight, beneath one of the busiest seas on the planet. And here's what makes this story even more haunting. Some researchers believe the trauma of losing Doggerland, of watching an entire homeland disappear within living memory, may have echoed forward through generations of oral storytelling. Flood myths appear across nearly every ancient culture that bordered these waters. Coincidence or memory passed down through countless generations, slowly transforming into legend. We'll never know exactly how many people lived through the Storegga tsunami, or how many stories were lost along with them, but we do know this. An entire world Forests, rivers, families, entire ways of life vanished beneath the sea in what may have been a matter of hours. The next time you look out at the ocean and see nothing but open water, remember that beneath some of those waves lie the forgotten remains of an entire civilization, a paradise that existed and then simply wasn't there anymore. If stories like this fascinate you, real history, stranger than fiction, make sure to subscribe, because on this channel, we uncover the moments history tried to erase